What is going on, my fellow Schwokelords? It's your boy Schweezy back at it again with the internet's worst podcast. Thank you so much for watching. If you're watching on YouTube like we are, and if you're listening, if you didn't already hear the memo, we are now on YouTube. This show is now a video podcast along with being able to listen to it. If you're still listening to it, that is no problem at all. I still love you, and you can still listen to this wherever you get your podcast from on any streaming service whatsoever. But if you prefer to watch podcasts and to see the clips that we are actually watching on the show, you would need to go to YouTube for that, and also watch the show on YouTube, and also subscribe. Hit that subscribe button, smash it if you so like this episode if you do enjoy it, or if you think it's terrible, you can still dislike it. That is also not a problem at all either. That is up to you in regards to what do you want to do in regards to that, but I'm glad you're watching. I'm glad you're listening. Thank you so much, but please subscribe wherever you are. I know with the YouTube page, it's an uphill battle right now, so we need those subscribes to get everything going and to be Schwoke like the Schwokelords you are. Like I said, I'm the foreplay king, coming at you with some of the hottest and worst podcasts on the internet. Today on the show, we have my boys in Through the Motions, Rob and Colby. Come on, they meet me on Zoom, and we go ahead and we hit the hot topics, such as, TikTok, some of their time spent in rehab, a little interesting story about a dolphin and a woman, the girl who talks to dolphins, and also we entertain some conspiracy theories as well, so you're really gonna want to stick around and watch that and listen to that, and you're not gonna want to touch the dial either, because this episode, we get pretty schwoke. Also, before we get into the episode though, I do want to talk about today's sponsors, and today we have a new sponsor, and that is FNX Fitness. FNX Fitness is committed to creating innovative supplements of highest quality that provide focus for a productive morning, energy to thrive all day, performance supplements to reach new goals, unique sleep and recovery formulas to support any sport, and healthy supplements to support an active lifestyle for years to come. Some of you may know I am currently, working on my health and working on my weight. I am currently down 35 pounds as of right now when I'm recording this. And I know one thing I learned doing with exercise, a lot of it's with my diet, but I have to put in the exercise as well to help burn some of those more calories. And one thing I like to know how to do is to burn everything and burn fat and burn everything more effectively. And one way you can definitely do that is with supplements from FNX Fitness. One thing I like to tell people with my workout routine, I'm not one of those sociopaths who wake up early in the morning to like to work out. I typically like to go in the afternoon around maybe like 5 p.m. after I already got a lot of work done for the day. And so you're a little tired out, you kind of just want to sit down and relax, but you got to get in those rep-ins when you want to work out. That way you can, burn those calories and help yourself lose weight to not end up like, my friend Micah, #pray for Micah. And so, I love their pre-workout supplements, and they really help me just take it, gives me that energy to, lift some weights and do that fasted cardio. That way I can efficiently burn calories, burn fat, get rid of that fat, continue to lose weight in regards to that. They also have gear in regards to clothing to work out, because why should you look ugly when you work out? Don't wear that old t-shirt you had from middle school. Get some nice workout clothes, some breathable fabrics. That way when you run, you just look good doing it, and FNX is the best subject and best product to do so. Also, one thing I love about FNX Fitness is that each purchase you make with them, they donate a gallon of water to a child in need. 1 out of 10 people in this world go without clean drinking water, and FNX Fitness wants to change that. And that goes with every purchase you make with FNX Fitness today. But I don't want to leave you hanging. With FNX Fitness, using promo code SchwegCast, you can get 15% off your order with FNX Fitness. So you can save 15% on that order, help a child who needs drinking water, get that drinking water, and also, stay schwoke and get active. #pray for Micah. So FNX Fitness, link in the description as well, along with using promo code SchwegCast when you check out. This episode is also sponsored by DistroKid. DistroKid gets your music out to multiple online retailers and saves you the hassle. This is great for artists who write original music, and also if you want to upload a cover as well. They'll even get you the cover license you need to save you the hassle in regards to getting that cover license, which can be a pain in the ass, I can tell, and I know. DistroKid is actually what I use for my music. I recently released a new EP back in March called King, and with that, I use DistroKid to get it out to all the streaming services out there that now people are listening to. Track 3 is If You Don't Dump by Jimmy Eat World, and I needed a cover license for that because I did not write that song. I did arrange it and stuff like that, but I did not write the song. So I had to go through DistroKid because DistroKid was able to get me the cover license I needed. That way I could release that song because it's such an integral song to the EP. DistroKid also makes it easy, while most other distributor sites make it so you have to pay per release what you want to release and everything like that. DistroKid gives you unlimited uploads for just the low price of $19.99 a year, which is great. This is revolutionary, and this is changing the game for anyone releasing music out there. You can use website link distrokid.com/VIP/SchwegCast. You can get 7% off your first year with DistroKid, and you can start releasing your music out to the world. So now I'm going to get on to my show with Through the Motions. And as my boy Garth would say, if this is truly a conversation,
then I say let the conversation begin.
Okay, so I want to start off this conversation with I feel like we've met before because I believe I was at one of your houses. You all had a Halloween party. Our Halloween house show. So I'm gonna pull up a picture of someone who was at that show, and I just want you to tell me if you remember this person being obnoxious and awful.
I already know which guy it is. I'm pretty sure.
Let's see here. So let me just pull up the screen. And do you remember this guy? I think at your Halloween house show?
Yeah, I do. Is that you?
Yeah, that's me. Let me pull up
awesome.
that one Steve from Ghost Town Remedy took.
Hell yeah.
And that was my goal to, hey, I think I need to lose some weight. So, yeah, I'm down 30 pounds now. But, yeah, that was... You ever just, see you're fatter than you actually are? Like, yeah, I'm not that fat. And then you saw that. I'm like, oh, God.
Yeah, absolutely. For sure. That's been, the story of my freaking life.
Mm-hmm. I think that's my big issue. Because not necessarily... it was kind of like that. I'm fat, but I'm not, like, a chungus or anything. And then I saw like that. I think I saw myself in a mirror or something like that. I'm like, who's that fat guy? And then I was like, oh, that's me. So,
well, ironically, I was Randy Marsh the year before. We played a house show, and that was like a lot of my before pictures when I started like losing weight. So, you know.
Okay. Yeah, but yeah, I'm on that keto diet. So
nice, man.
We ain't doing carbs, no carbs 2020.
There you go.
So everyone's like coronavirus this and coronavirus that. Have your guys' like 2020 been that bad so far? Besides like Corona?
No, just besides having to cancel shows.
Oh yeah. I feel like that's probably like the worst part for anyone.
Other than that, my life didn't even really change. I've been quarantined for like 2 years. So I'm just chilling, you know. It was no big deal for me, man.
Yeah, so I've been all my exes could really help you with social distancing from me. If you really need that help, I just give her a call. She may not be interested, but she'll be like, "Hey, there's this mutual person we know. You might be able to assist with something like that." So of course, yeah, they would be able to assist with anything like that.
Yeah.
Yeah, it hasn't been like that bad or that crazy. We've been fortunate enough to have a spot to where we can like write and practice and all that kind of stuff and still keep it relatively safe. And I mean, yeah, like we were planning on touring this summer. That was like the biggest bummer. We had a whole route planned out, and then, you know, all that stuff. But at the same time too, it's like, I don't know. I feel like I've gotten so much out of it because I have like had to take responsibility for a lot of like all the stuff that I just never wanted to deal with. And this time has like allowed me to kind of like slow down and like, I don't know, like basically everything but music, you know what I mean? Like personal shit and emotional shit. I feel like it's been awesome.
You know, I never get the people who are like, so you're being told to stay home and do nothing. Like that sounds pretty freaking awesome. Unless you have a job you like, but then the people protesting don't have, I can't imagine they have good jobs they would like or, anything like that.
Yeah. I mean,
see, that's what's helped me out is I do astrology readings for my house anyways. So it was kind of like, all of a sudden, I've been talking about how there was going to be some crazy shit that went down this year. And then now it showed up and everybody's just sitting at home staring at their phones. So, like, it's been good for business for me.
Oh, yeah. See, my 2019 was so bad. Like, when 2020 came around, I'm like, 2020 was so bad. 2021, that's going to be my year right there.
Right, automatic.
We're going to, like, this year's probably still not going to be that good for me. But, I think 2021, I think I'm really going to get it together and get things going in regards to that. Yeah, so.
Yeah.
But man, so you guys Switch guys? Nintendo Switch?
Yeah. Oh yeah, dude.
Do you been playing Animal Crossing?
Everything but Animal Crossing.
Damn.
It's on my list of things to mess with, but only because there's only so much. Like, I'm a big Mario Maker guy,
dude. I've never gotten more angry at a game than Mario Maker.
I'm actually watching. I have on my TV right now. I follow this guy, Barbarous King, on Twitch, and he makes these insane Super Mario World ROM hacks like that are so out of this world crazy. Like the last ROM hack that he made required you to look stuff up on the internet in order to beat the game. Yeah. It's so sick.
Dude, that game gets me so mad. It's so much fun, but it makes me so mad every time I play it.
Yeah, I totally agree. I have to get Animal Crossing. I heard it's incredible.
It's so great. I got it like opening day, and now everyone else is joining on the trend. And so I have this full beautiful island, and everyone else has this like the garbage weed patch, like just floating around everywhere and just being garbage.
I guess I never understood like the whole, like I was never like into like The Sims or anything like that. So that's probably why it wasn't on like must play like right away as soon as it comes out list, I guess. Oh, you know, like I got the remake of Final Fantasy VII when it came out right away. But at the same time, I was also like, I haven't been playing too much of that. I pretty much just I've been playing Mario Maker, Celeste, the platformer Celeste, and a lot of Ultimate.
Okay,
that's pretty much it.
I play Ultimate. You got to try and get like your reps in every day.
Right? Yeah.
You feel like you're playing a sport. And if you look at any of like the esports in regards to Smash, it's like, man, this is a lot more competitive. I had roommates who were really into League of Legends, and I'm pretty sure they're virgins. But anyways, that game is.
I hope so.
You guys into League of Legends?
I never messed with League of Legends. I heard it's good.
No, it's not. It's pretty awful.
I never liked Marvel stuff. I just couldn't get into it. I don't know why.
It's not Marvel. It's like this own little like thing. Like you have to attack bases. It's just like clicking a mouse a million times.
I thought it was like I'm
not big into PC games. I'm old school. Like That's my boy Big Time Tommy, and I like to. I like sitting on a couch with a controller playing a video game.
Yeah.
I'm not necessarily into, sitting on like a mouse and keys and like, okay.
WASD.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Yeah. I'm just not into, are you guys into PC gaming or?
I never had a PC that was good enough to play games.
Why would you buy one? Why would you even try to buy one? You could just build your own.
Yeah, I know. I was debating on it. With all the streaming that's like pretty much like that's been going on, especially for the next couple of months, I think a lot of bands are trying to think about like how they can kind of like be ahead of the curve as far as like how to like basically contribute content since live shows are not a thing anymore. I mean, like we got like over the past couple of years, we kind of just getting like fucked left and right. Live shows was like the last like legitimate form of thing that we had left. Like music sales went down the shitter through streaming, and now it's going to be literally all, and unless you have like a really decent setup audio wise, like the quality is garbage.
Yeah.
So
now it's like everyone's streaming, and so it's kind of like, should I even try to stream, or unless it's actually good? And then you have to like, what's going to separate you from the other streamers at this point?
You got it. Mm-hmm. So I think we have a decent like recording setup here. So eventually I would like to do like, I would like to get like a nicer PC. I have a Mac right now, but I don't know. This Mac's so freaking old that I wouldn't be able to basically do anything over like 320 at all. It would just be total garbage. So
I just actually found an app. I'm using it right now. If my picture is a little nice, I figured out how you can like use your phone as your webcam and then like hook it into your computer and use that audio.
Oh, that's cool.
So,
but the processing's good on it then?
Yeah, as long as I'm plugging it in. So if you're seeing me right now fine and I'm not like weird, then it should be fine. I'm plugging it like USB directly into my computer though. So
okay.
So there is a way you can do it Wi-Fi. The way I'm doing it was like a $9 app, but yeah, this gonna be perfect right now. I'm doing like Zoom shows. Yeah,
it's still pretty dope for real.
So yeah, thought about doing a live show, but then I like show videos of like I showed you to like do the test. A guy smokes meth and then jacks off in 4 strokes.
Right.
Yeah, that video cracks me up every time I watch it. And maybe I should show it. Did I close out of it? Okay, I closed out of it. Are you guys down to watch that on the show live?
Yeah, man. Whip it out.
Why not?
Let's just whip it out. Let me just go ahead and find it here. But so if any of you, I know we have a decent Missouri amount of listeners. So let me take a look here. Meth is pretty big in Missouri. So if you want to get some good meth. I don't know. How are drug dealers doing nowadays? Has anyone checked in on your local drug dealer?
It's been a minute for me. What do you think, Colby?
I don't know. I've actually.
You don't have to like self-incriminate yourself on my show. I was just making a joke.
No, I've thought the same thing though. I'm like, I wonder how that business is going.
I would imagine better. I would imagine that they're actually doing better.
It's how do you pull that business off though? You can't trade drugs over Skype. They probably got drones out there flying drugs around right now.
If anyone's actually like giving a shit about like catching COVID-19, but they don't give a fuck about doing meth, then I think that
I'm kind of a germaphobe. So if you could like,
right.
we just do like just do a zero contact interaction for my meth, please.
Yeah, for real.
Those always go well. Yeah, they're really trustworthy. I'll just leave the money in the mailbox. You just swing on by,
Yeah, no. Okay, let's watch the 4-stroke gang.
If you've had any kind of erectile disorder problems, I'm here to tell you, forget about Viagra, forget about Salus, forget about dick implants and all that stuff. I told you what to do, and it does work. So, I don't know if you believe me or not, but if you'd like to see me smoke some meth with a small limp dick that doesn't get harder, in other words, I watch it get harder and harder. The more I smoke, the harder my dick gets. It's unbelievable. If you want to see it, yes. If you don't, that's okay too. I won't. But I just want all you guys to see. You're gay. You won't believe how good it feels. If you're straight, you won't believe how good it feels. Your dickhead becomes so sensitive that you don't need lube, you don't need spit. You just stroke that dickhead this up and down 4 times. It's just I'll barely do it. And you'll shoot an enormous amount of very thick, hot white cum. More cum than I've ever did in my life. And I know I'm gay. I love to get blowjobs. And I tell you what, I cannot wait when I'm so fucked up and hot and horny on meth. I let anybody suck and get me a blowjob. I'm telling you. But a few strokes, my brother didn't believe me. But when he smoked with me, he put out his dick. I couldn't believe how big his dick was. He jacked off in 4 strokes and shot the most cum he'd ever shot in his life. He's only 49, and he's fine. He has no neuropathy problems at all. But his dick gets even harder and thicker and even more cum. He believes me now. I'm not here to tell you to do anything illegal. I don't want you to do anything illegal. I don't want you doing anything you don't feel comfortable doing. But I promise you, if you can find anybody you know that won't get you into trouble, smoke some meth. The more you smoke off that bowl, the harder your dick will get. Some guys get a small that don't get help not to get a hard on. Some guys like me, it's a proven fact, your dick will get hard. So if you want to see me go from a limp dick to a hard dick, I will do it this weekend, and I'll videotape it from just a small dick, very limp, and watch it get harder and harder. That's a proven fact. All right, let me know. Doesn't bother me a bit. If you say yes, I'll show it to you. The majority will win. If the majority says no, you'll never hear from me again. Just let me know, okay? Thanks.
Okay.
I love how he gives us the option, you know?
Yeah,
he asked you a couple times just so you're sure.
I assume this was, he recorded this in the Me Too era, or the Me Too phase, so he didn't want to be Me Too for this,
Right.
Good call.
Yeah.
He's a smart guy. He seems like a smart guy. He's not the kind of guy who's he doesn't whip his thing out for just anyone.
He was so sincere the whole time. He was like, he just wanted.
I think that's what makes it funny to me.
Yeah.
Just he was so sincere.
It's not a troll. It's like 100% authentic. Right.
And it's like it's way too long.
It is way too long.
He's in a public place too. That's my favorite part.
That's amazing.
Mm-hmm. So have y'all ever tried meth?
I think Colby has.
Yeah, there's not a lot of drugs I haven't tried.
Okay, is it any good?
It wasn't really my thing.
Okay.
It wasn't really my thing. I only did it a few times. It was just it's a really dirty drug.
Yeah, I can tell a few times you have all your teeth. So
yeah,
it's a good sign. It's been a few times. But did you see John from Tiger King? He got all his teeth back. He got like teeth reconstruction or something.
Yeah,
good for him.
Yeah, he's really a hero.
A lot of heroes out there, Well, I'm glad he looks like he's clean, so that's a good thing for him.
Yeah,
gotta be happy when people get clean.
Yeah, that's pretty funny. Yeah, I mean, like, I guess I'll tell him, Colby, if you don't give a shit.
Yeah, I don't care.
Colby and I have actually been clean off of drugs and alcohol for over 6 years.
Oh, nice.
I've been clean. I'll be clean 8 years in August. I don't know how long. Colby, you have like a little over 6, right?
No, I'll have 8 in October.
We're nice. Like around the same time. Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, that's cool. Did you guys have like a little bit of a problem? Because I have somewhat of a drinking problem. I'll admit that.
Yeah.
But it's not something I'm in a mood. I never want to stop, if that makes sense. I always want to do it like socially, That sounds really awful, but
that's that's the whole problem that I had too. Only it wasn't just drinking; it was heroin. So
yeah. You
Yeah.
can't like social heroin,
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean,
Your heroin
alcohol
sounds
is
good,
like
though.
alcohol is like just because it's legal. I've seen people like fucking withdraw off of alcohol, and it's like, you ever see alcohol withdrawal, man? It's horrifying. It's like 20.
I used to. So back when I was fatter,
yeah,
I was drinking too much, and then I think I'd go off for like a day or two. Yeah, I mean, I wasn't like hospitalized shaking, but I could feel it,
dude. Shit's like, you could like, it's really like that, and like benzos are the only two things that you could really die from the actual withdrawal from it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But it was a good time. It
was a good time. Wish we could go back.
Yeah. There are some times where, but I honestly think too, like out of all the bands and stuff that I played in, like the number one thing that really like destroys most bands are like you just get nothing done, or you're playing a show and so-and-so's fucking can't even stand up, or it like you can't practice or write unless you're under something. And it's been cool to like kind of like not have that issue for once, you know?
Yeah, I notice my friends who smoke weed, there's two types. There's the people who smoke weed and then they like act like normal people and they're still very productive and like kind of get their goals done. And there's other people that they just do it and then they just lay around and then they're wondering, is like, oh, it's been 5 years. Why can't I finish my album? And I'm like, because you're not doing anything. Especially that's me in the creative sense, where not necessarily looking at your health, where if it's disrupting you from your career goals or your like music goals, that's a problem. I mean, that could be a problem with anything. Like you're dating some chick who's your kids, get off your kids for 6 years.
Yeah.
So
yeah, I don't know. I think everyone has their own kind of like bottom line of whatever, because I know so many people that they've lost everything and they're still, you know, it's kind of like their own little, that's the thing that sucks about it, because like you can give someone the consequences, be like, here's what you're doing. And they were just like, oh, well, you know, it's not that bad yet, you know, or whatever. So I think like what defines like someone has a problem or not literally has to be up to that person. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I literally got to where I wanted to die. Like, I pretty much was suicidal, but I had a gun that I traded for dope, so I couldn't shoot myself anymore. And then I couldn't even like afford to overdose. Like it was like that. You know what I mean? So I was just in this spot of being like, I would kind of rather be dead than keep going this way. Was how dark it really had to get for me.
So did you go to rehab?
Yeah. Aren't you glad if you asked us if we smoked meth before?
Did you guys smoke meth? This is like a little too serious for my show.
Whoa!
But I'm okay with it.
Holy shit.
We laugh at meth. But okay, so since you have tried meth, does the 4-stroke stuff work?
No.
Okay.
No.
That's all I needed to know. I mean,
I don't know. I've heard that before, though. I've heard of people that will do meth and then just chronically masturbate, but it wasn't my thing.
So did you both go to rehab then?
Yeah,
I went quite a few times. Yeah,
I mean, people are like, "Oh, you went to rehab 3 times." Like, it's not that easy. If you're an addict.
Yeah. I mean, you can go ahead, Colby. You can talk.
I mean, you can talk. I don't know. Like I ended up in a psych ward twice in a month.
Okay.
I mean, it was crazy. That was back when the bath salts were going around and there was people eating people's faces. Yeah, I was shooting up bath salts. Is like where my life was.
Woo!
You're just like looking for like anything cheap to get high with.
Well, it was just they sold it in store. I don't really think it was even anything that was supposed to be used as a bath salt. To be honest, I think they just got away with selling amphetamines in the store by calling it bath salts. It said on the package, like, for one adult bath, keep heavy machinery away from the bathroom and be sure that your bath gets plenty of water, was what it said on the package. Like, that was the instructions. Like, here you go.
But you smoked it or ate it. Now you sound like an idiot for a TikTok for bringing that up.
No, I mean, like that's like if you can't fucking laugh at it, then like what's the point? Like obviously, like it's a very serious thing. Like we take that shit like very seriously. Like we have a lot of friends that, you know, like it's like life or death. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
But at the same time, we joke about it like all the time.
Well, now you guys have perspective on it because I feel like you're probably in a lot better place you are right now than you were 6 years ago.
Yeah.
So,
absolutely.
I mean, it's a nice thing when you have like perspective on something. It's easier to laugh at it.
Yeah, I think it's absolutely vital. I think that you can't be too serious all the time, and it'll drive you literally fucking crazy. You know.
Yeah.
Am I allowed to curse? I'm sorry.
Oh, yeah, go for it.
That was a thing. Okay.
Yeah, we just watched a video of a guy talking about jerking off and something that. We don't cuss on this show. It's a family show.
4 strokes, you know? Literally. I don't think I've ever lived 4 strokes ever. Anyway.
At least you thought about that this time instead of it being another Rocketown experience.
We played a show at Rocketown, Sam.
God, I've heard so many stories about Rocketown. But yeah, I
didn't know that you can't curse at all. No one told me, and I couldn't believe that we actually like got through as many songs as we did, because I basically just like black out in between songs when I have like on stage banner, and I think at one point I said like "God damn it" like 15 times, like as loud as I could, and like a couple fucks and a couple of stuffs, and then they were just like they're like last song, and we were like 3 songs in, and I was pretty pissed off because I didn't know, and then you felt bad after and kind of was just like, dude, I'm so sorry. This is like a Christian venue, and then they have like church. They have like church like right next to the actual place.
Rocketown seems like it sounds like a cool venue, and I've driven past it. It looks really cool.
Yeah, I think it's cool for like to have a place for like where kids can go that's in like a safe environment. That's not like completely, you know, like I didn't necessarily have that like growing up. Like we had like a church basement where they would have like local bands playing stuff like that.
Yeah.
But that like that I'd be lying to you if it like wasn't like infested with drugs and all that other kind of shit. And that was half the reason why we went to begin with. It was just a place to like get fucked up without whatever. But I think it's cool, man. Especially around here.
Yeah, I mean, it's nice. I guess it's nice to exist. I like to hear a lot of fun stories about Rocketown where they're like, where people just like, I didn't know that rule that you're not supposed to cuss in your songs. But I guess cussing isn't too bad in your music. But it's more of the drugs and alcohol.
Yeah, but that show, it was really funny to go back and watch it though, because we had no idea, and it was like every other word. It was so bad.
The funniest, one of the funniest moments. So I went to, do you know the band Bleachers?
Yeah.
So I like Bleachers a lot. So I think back in 2015, there was like a Bleachers Charlie XCX tour, and they went to Kansas City. I was living around there at the time. And so Bleachers went on first, and there was a lot of like older teenagers there, I would say, and some had parents with them. What happened was, so Bleachers went first, and then Charlie went on, and she started off her song. She was like, fuck, 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 to like a dance beat. And then you just saw a bunch of moms and their kids just like walk out. Because me and my friend were like, I'm not really into Charlie XCX, but I'll stick around. I mean, we bought tickets, so we paid like $16 whole for this ticket. We're gonna stay for the whole show.
Have you ever seen the clip on YouTube of the guy from Smash Mouth like wanting to fight all of his fans for throwing stuff at stage on him? He's like, "Come up here, motherfucker! I'll beat the shit out of you." And they just
I've like seen that.
So good.
Done a lot of research on Smash Mouth. FYI, it's Smash Mouth.
Hey, whatever.
Dude, I love the progressive commercials right now. It's just like the progressive halftime commercial show or something like that, and it's like Smash Mouth. Dude, actually, on my EP, so I just released an EP a month ago almost a month and a half or something like that. Anyway, so it's called King, and there's a famous quote by Smash Mouth in reply to an article about DJ Khaled saying he doesn't go down on his wife because a king doesn't do that or something like that. And that EP is called King. And so I just put on the back of it, a king who doesn't is no king at all, in quotes, Smash Mouth.
Right. Right.
Which is the glorious, which is, I like Smash Mouth. I'll say that. I don't think they have a lot of songs I'm going to listen to, but I like them. They can exist.
I don't really necessarily, it's not like, I don't really hate on like any band that got turned into a meme, like indefinitely, like by their own fault, like how Nickelback got turned into a meme, and what other bands got turned into memes over the time. But you know what I mean? I actually thought like when Nickelback first came out, it was a fucking bop, dude. You know what I mean? Like they wrote some good shit, and then you know you get too big. It's like the internet's responsibility to bring you back down. You know, like literally.
I actually learned a little something. If you do karaoke, you do "How You Remind Me" by Nickelback, you're gonna get a lot of people singing along. And I think that it's like, oh, everyone hates Nickelback, so everyone's gonna really hate this. I always start off with, and we're all gonna not pretend that this song sucks for 3 minutes. This is how you remind me.
Banger. Creed's another banger.
Creed has some good stuff.
Dude, that's what I'm saying, man. You know?
I think it was just like the social aspect of Creed that people didn't like. I think it's just Scott Stapp. I think it was like how people didn't like Taylor Swift for a while. And cares.
I never really like got into Taylor Swift. I don't know. I just never really gave it any time.
I wrote a 14-page paper on her 1989 album. She's a very interesting artist compared to she. One thing I like about Taylor, and because I don't want to go on a huge rant about her, is she's always willing to take the risk in her music, in which I believe like how good music is made. Like you have to take a risk. You talk about the Beatles, you know, when they did Sgt. Pepper and some other Revolver and stuff like that. You know, they went from their like this boy band type sound. They switched to that awesome, you know, just kind of like experimented a little bit and like kind of took a risk, and like your record label's not going to like it, but you feel so strongly with your artistic passion that this is going to move you forward that you do it anyways.
Sure.
That's what I like about Taylor a lot. She's willing to do that. Her album Reputation had a lot of good songs on it, didn't commercially do that well. And that was a risk she took, didn't work, and you know, she accepted it. And at this point, I respect Taylor so much as an artist. And if you go to any open mic night, you hear every girl sounds like her old shit.
Oh yeah. I did the whole songwriter around thing for a minute when I first moved here, and then after a while I kind of just like I was like, I don't think this is really for me. You know,
I do it. I like to do it like to try out new songs. Like open
for sure.
Stand-up comedians, they like to try out like their bits like on their open mic nights and stuff like that. Just to, you know, kind of get a feel for it, see an audience reaction in regards to the song. That's how I do those rounds and stuff like that. And then you know, you goof around too. And sometimes you get free alcohol, which you guys don't get, but I do. So we should do a round together. I'd be like, I have another drink. Isn't this like your 12th pass? I'm like, yeah.
We'll donate it. We'll donate it all to you, man. That's not a problem.
I try to. That's why I don't. I try to have sober friends too, who are willing to come to bars and stuff like you know, when you have like public events where you get drink tickets, like get their drinks, be their friend, and get their drinks. Except for one time, I was at a wedding and I got roofied, and I'm pretty sure it was the bartender.
Oh shit!
Because I introduced myself as the foreplay king. And yeah, I was kind of being obnoxious, and I did tell them, "Hey, fuck me up." And I'm glad I had a vodka cranberry, and then I passed out in a car, and I woke up the next morning. There was like red vomit all over the place.
Oh shit!
And I asked a friend, "Hey, did I drink something that's close to the color red?" They're like, yeah. I'm like, oh, thank God. Actually, at your Halloween party, I, the next day, threw up blood.
Jesus
and
Christ.
that is, and I also don't remember that party very well. What? Wait, let me double check. I might be able to pull up an album that I call, I don't remember.
Ghost Town Remedy played Smash Mouth that night.
Yeah, I was there. They're my friend. I'm good friends with those guys.
Yeah.
That's why I was at the show. Showed up with a Sonic Cherry Limeade that had a good chunk of vodka in it. And then let me see if I can find this album. I saved so many stupid fucking pictures to my phone. Okay. I should have prepped this before our episode, but wait, no, hold on. Yeah, I did not prep this episode. Or maybe I did. Yeah. Okay. So anyways, there's sometimes I get blackout drunk and I take selfies with people I don't know. And I want to create like an art gallery of every photo selfie I've taken.
A shrine. You get a
Just
shrine
like,
going.
Here's a shrine of all the people I don't remember at a party. That's also one thing. I don't drink so much I black out anymore. You know, I just get buzzed and then sleep.
Amen.
So I'll drink to that. Questions on rehab. Obviously, there's the part where you're trying to like get off drugs. And so I assume that takes up most of your time. Do they have like fun activities there for you to do? What's that like?
I actually worked in a rehab for 3 years, and my job was actually an activities coordinator to work to try to not make it suck that much. And I think I had like I originally lived right outside of Philadelphia before I moved here, and I would just invite artists and comedians actually they didn't necessarily have to be sober, but I would like bring them in on the weekends because weekends in rehab suck. And basically just like they would play for the patients for like an hour or so, or do stand up for like an hour or so. And I brought in some Wii bowling. That was always a hit. You know, like a lot of lists, like a lot of like name like top 100 songs of the 90s. And we would do that for like, that would kill like 2 hours and shit like that. And basically everyone else would just fuck each other because it was a co-ed rehab, and they would just, you know, fall in love in the detox med line. And
I know. Isn't one of the rules you're not supposed to like have sex? Yeah.
Yeah. That's not followed at all.
I kind of feel like that's what I would be doing.
Like, probably the first time a hammer works in years, man. You know what I mean? Like that would be like coming gates swinging. You know,
hey, some of us aren't on meth. Some of us can't get it up.
That's what.
Super easy. But yeah, that's what I would think. I was thinking. I'm like, well, I mean, they're not doing drugs. I mean, what do they come here for? Is it sex rehab? That'd be me. That's why I wouldn't be a rehab counselor.
Yeah, no, it's a good time. It's a lot of. I did like music therapy there for a hot minute, and that was a lot of fun. But I don't think I was talking with one of my old friends that's a counselor there now, and I was like, "What the fuck was I thinking?" I don't think I would ever do that ever again. It was definitely a particular time in my life for sure, but it's like horrifying. You know what I mean?
Oh,
it's so depressing, and it's just like it completely like my personality was completely shot for a hot minute after that. But yeah,
I imagine it like summer camp, and then imagine all like the cheesiness of summer camp.
All right.
Like, all right, the kickball tournament's coming up. All right, time for the rehab talent show.
That's pretty much that's pretty accurate of how it is. Really, it's
better than just being miserable.
Yeah, it's Better than heroin addiction.
I've actually had an idea for a TV show. I don't know. I'd have to like walk on eggshells with this, but it's basically a guy gets sent to prison, but instead of like all the scary shit you have in prison, it basically just like summer camp, and so it's just like goofy and like the end of the first season is like the prison talent show.
Kind of like Glee meets that, like Oz or something like that.
Something like that, yeah. I just want to be just goofy and stupid.
Camp Anawana. What was the name of that? Salute Your Shorts.
Yeah. I would definitely do that. That's my but you have to like, you're gonna have to walk on eggshells to not like offend people who are being offended on behalf of other people, you know?
Yeah.
You know, those type of people.
I think it's a good idea.
Those are people I've cut out of my life in 2020. I'm going to continue to social distance from.
Yeah.
People who get offended on behalf of other people. I don't need them in my life.
Yeah. Good luck. Good luck with that. Colby's the master at offending people, especially on social media.
I'm
really bad at not caring about it. You know, like I can offend someone and probably don't even like try. And then like, hey, that was mean. You shouldn't say things like that. I'm like, okay. Don't be a TikTok about it.
Right. Yeah. Don't be a TikTok.
Don't be a TikTok.
I've recently started unfollowing a lot of people because I'll catch myself. I'll just see them saying some really dumb shit, and then I'm sitting there like typing a paragraph like, "Oh, I'm going to troll them so hard right now," and then I'm like, "What am I even doing?" You know. So then I end up unfollowing them, and then if I do it, and then they end up blocking me, I'm like, "Oh, well, that really worked itself out," you know.
I go by a rule: don't verbally respond. So either just ignore it. But if you feel so compelled that your Lord Jesus Christ, our Lord and Savior, wants you to reply to this, do the facepalm emoji. That's all I can do.
I do the head explode emoji. That's my top that's my top favorite one. Whenever someone is like offended or says something, I'll hit them with 3 of those. And Colby knows what I'm talking about. That's all. Yeah. That's all I'll say.
It's like I don't care much about the Trump tards, but at the same time, like, take it easy, libs. Like, not everything. Yeah. You can't be offended about everything.
I just find it funny that people think presidents really matter so much, because I'm just like, I feel like it's all a soap opera. Yeah. So then I try to like step in with that, and then nobody wants to hear it. They still just want to like hate somebody over it, you know?
I just kind of feel like with our current president, it's kind of just like, hey, can you shut the fuck up right now?
I stopped really like following all that stuff since the whole Hillary and Trump thing when that first started. I remember specifically watching it on Facebook, one of their political debates, and I was like, this is the worst reality TV show I've ever seen in my whole life. And I think I've literally just stopped following any kind of like controversy or tweet or any time that they would go live about it. And I was like, this is like so asinine. I can't even believe people are even getting worked up about this stuff. It is like such a waste of time and energy.
Yeah, I can't. Have you read or listened audiobook to The Subtle Art of Not Giving a Fuck by Mark Manson?
I've heard of it.
Dude, I listened to it on a drive, and it's very good. I hate those motivational bullshit. Yeah. That one is like super good because it makes you just think. It's not the idea of I don't give a fuck about anything. It's more the idea of, hey, what do I give a fuck about? And everything I don't give a fuck about, let's just rule it. If it's like an argument where anything you say doesn't matter.
Right.
So what's the fucking point of continuing that argument? It's a waste of time. It's a waste of your energy, and you're not doing anything about it. So that book, I would check it out. Audible. Show's not sponsored by Audible, so you can't get any discount from me. I think Audible is really against like anything political related, which I talk about any fucking thing I want. So it just comes up. So
yeah,
it's hard Hard to be at SJW on Tumblr these days.
That is literally one of those things that I just like. I don't know. It just like it blows my mind, like how, like I don't know, like that people like basically invest the time into like those kind of conversations. It just doesn't make sense to me.
Mm-hmm.
Like why you would like try to like defeat someone on Facebook or defeat someone in a comment opinion.
That's exactly what it is. That's like exactly what it is.
Like sourcing facts like via YouTube or like all this stuff like all this stuff that's surrounding like 5G and all that other insanity conspiracy stuff that like it's like, okay, like if it's true or if it's not true, like what do you really have, like what are you trying to prove? The fact that you're right or that you're better than? It's like you don't have control over that shit anyway. What are you gonna do? Go out in the fucking street and start, like a fucking, like you're gonna go on strike against like everyone? Like it's not gonna change anything. And even if you get a bunch of people to sign up on a fucking secret Facebook group, like have you ever seen the Netflix special like Don't Fuck with Cats?
Oh dude, that is my shit right there.
Yeah, I was like it just like blows my mind, like
I'm gonna be honest with you here. Here's something I noticed with a little observation, because I'm a journalist and I talk about people jerking off on a podcast.
Right.
I noticed everyone in Don't Fuck with Cats was not that good looking. Except for Luca, the actual guy.
Mm-hmm.
Bad looking people don't do anything. I've lost 30 pounds, so I can start saying things about ugly people. So it is kind of the perks. I
really honestly think that it gives people just like a sense of purpose. And I think that's what people are basically struggling for to begin with, is that it's like, oh, I believe in this, I stand up for this, so it gives me like a sense of purpose. And because you're not willing to take responsibility for the shit that's in your backyard right now anyway. You know what I mean? It's just a nice little distraction from everything else that's going on. Like once I started trying to like focus on like my own emotional like shit that I've been dealing with and avoiding for the past like X amount of years, or like losing weight and all that other kind of shit. Like all that other stuff is just so fucking trivial in my opinion. And I don't know. I just feel like it's such a waste of time and energy. I feel like you should be spent, like you should fucking fix your own backyard before you start basically looking everywhere else to
pick your own weeds in Animal Crossing before you go to someone else's island.
That's what I'm saying, man. That's what I'm saying. So.
Yeah, I do think about that idea of everyone feels like they need to have a purpose or like some validation or an identity nowadays. Mm-hmm. And I think about that a lot with like, everyone's like a random gender or something like that.
Yeah.
So anyways, before I go into this, I'm okay with, so the idea of being transgender where you're a man, you're a man born in a woman's body, stuff like that makes sense to me. And then the idea of being non-binary, that makes sense too. Just the idea of like, the ideas of a man and a woman, I don't really fall in either of those categories. So I'm kind of in the middle. But you get to some point where it's kind of a joke. What gender are you guys today?
Yeah, that's a tough one. Only because like I'm a firm believer on like I don't give my opinions on things I don't have experience with. So if I don't have experience with going through that particular issue, I'm not going to give you my experience on it. Like my experience is that I've always identified as a specific gender my whole life, and I never thought that I was something else. And I also don't waste my time trying to argue with someone that might think that they're different or what my belief is. I feel the same way about any major political thing. Like basically whenever I'd watch like a political debate or like something like a Ben Shapiro thing or something like that, I just like, it's just literally just entertainment to me. You know what I mean? Like what was that guy? Louder with Crowder or whatever the fuck that guy's name is. Like, he basically just goes around to universities and campuses and say, abortion is murder, change my mind, and I'll set up a table at a university, and people will just be like, "What the fuck's your problem?" All that stuff. I'm like, dude, the guy's literally making content.
Yeah.
And that's all it is. I don't think that since there's so many people that, like, no matter what you say or what you do, it's not going to change their belief on a situation. It's like literally, I feel like you're just asking the wrong question to begin with, honestly. You know what I mean?
Oh, yeah, definitely. Yeah, do you think it's like an identity thing now that we've gone so far in society that you have to have your own identities? Like, I'm a astral gendered, polyamorous, animalist being or something like that. That's my gender, and I'd prefer to be referred to that. I'm like, what the fuck did you just say to me right now? I'm not going to refer to you as that. You think? I mean, there is a lot of science. I've actually saw something the other day. Actual science has done this. So this may be a controversial thing, and obviously it's not every man and every woman, but the male brain function is different from male and female. A female brain function and a male female function is different. It just is. What they discovered, though, is that in transgender patients, so say born a woman, became a man, their brain function is actually like that of a male. And then vice versa with female, which that is super interesting.
Yeah, for sure. I don't think that I honestly don't think that there's enough information on the issue to where it can be like factually stated. Like this is the main reason why it is. Like if you're going off of basic like feeling or whatever, I guess you kind of have to like, I will say for myself, I will respect those feelings if someone feels like that. But I also believe in the same context that you should not force someone to say, or basically be like, address me as so, or force someone to be addressed as so. And that's where almost like kind of like the arrogance of the situation kind of gets like really, really crazy. You know what I mean? Because then it goes, oh, you're transphobic or all this stuff. It's like, no, I don't like to be forced to basically say or do anything that I'm uncomfortable saying or doing. You know what I mean? It doesn't make me right or wrong. It's just, it's like if I don't believe in Judaism or if I don't believe in Christianity, does that make me wrong or whatever? And those people that are like nailing religion down your throat, like, does that make you a bad person? It's like, no, it's just, but don't like force that on me. You know what I mean? Yeah.
Yeah. It is something, especially I feel like that's something very different. Like where your own beliefs, like you have to recognize like you have your own beliefs and other people have different beliefs. Right. And if you want to try to convince them to have your beliefs, you got to do it the right way. You can't just do however you want.
Right.
But you have to respect that they're going to think differently. I have a lot of friends who are still like I grew up super Christian, and I guess I'm somewhat spiritual still, but I mean, I don't identify as Christian. I still have a lot of friends, still go to church. I'm still friends with their parents, and I'm not going to try to force them to think the way I think. I just don't think everyone's going to think differently, and you just got to respect that. And because not everyone's had your life. Not everyone's had the same experiences as you.
That's the whole point. That's the whole point in having different people is to have different expressions of humans, Right. We're not all going to be the same. I mean, but I don't know. I see what you mean. And I think a lot of it does come down to people just wanting to feel superior to others through their identity, It's and that's politics and everything. It goes back to that same conversation we were having of like, why does everyone want to go out of their way so bad to prove somebody wrong and prove that they're right? And I feel like it's just like a feeling of inferiority that they have underlying somewhere. And then they want to just try to compensate to feel superior. It's such a toxic society we live in. Toxic.
We live in a society.
Yes.
Yeah. I think you kind of need both, though. I feel like there needs to be balance between the two, and that's kind of like why it is like kind of like it's like the yin and the yang of everything. You know what I mean? Like you kind of need to have people that are very, very progressive and very, very like that's what makes them like fucking alive, like that's what gives them whatever. And you need the Donald Trumps of the world sometimes, in order to find balance with everything. Don't necessarily believe it's right or wrong.
Let's talk up Donald Trump. Let's just do that. Let's make this whole episode. We're going to talk up Donald Trump. So
this is going
The
downhill.
Apprentice wasn't that bad.
This is going way downhill.
Actually, no, it's really funny. I think I found a cassette tape I recorded back in the day. Younger Sam or Schweezy decided he needed to record the 2005 Nickelodeon Kids' Choice Awards. And so one time me and a friend watched it, drank some alcohol, had a good time. And Donald Trump was on there. And just to think where he is now.
On Nickelodeon.
Yeah.
Slime
2005.
Slime Time Live.
Yeah. Kids' Choice Awards too.
Did he get slimed?
No, I think he I need to watch that again. So I really want this quarantine to be over, probably like most people for just some other reasons, but I want Goodwill to open back up. I want to find those like used like cassette tapes, like the ones you record off TV from, and then just go at it and just watch some old shit and like TV shows, commercials, just have a good time. Like it's like a mystery.
Is that a thing? Can you buy people's like home videos at Goodwill?
So, well, I mean, it's those blank cassettes. So they're sold as blank cassettes. However, the purpose of yourself buying them is that you are going to record new stuff on it.
But they're used.
Correct.
Yeah.
So, I mean,
you never know what you're going to get.
So, I mean, yeah, that's the idea. So you just kind of, hopefully you get some like nice gem. And then like you watch like old food commercials, the food looks terrible.
Oh, I'm sure.
Yeah.
That's because they had real food, not like CG.
They're just doing the real shit. It's like, this is hey, welcome to McDonald's. This is our pancakes. And like, man, those look bad. I'm like, yeah, come to McDonald's. They're only like $4.99. So we were speaking on identities. I want to show you this clip I had prepared, and I want you to come in with this with open arms and an open heart, because I really want you to see this the way Jesus wants you to. So, and then I want to do a nice video discussion on this.
And Margaret felt the best way of focusing his mind back on the lessons was to relieve his desires herself manually.
It was just easier to incorporate that and let it happen. It was very precious. It was very gentle. Peter was right there. He knew that I was right there. Again, it was sexual on his part. It was not sexual on mine. Sensuous, perhaps. It would just become part of what was going on, like an itch. Just get rid of that. We'll scratch it and we'll be done, move on. And that's really all it was. I was there to get to know Peter. That was part of Peter.
Okay, so
she got raped by a dolphin.
So I decided to edit this down to shorten it, and I didn't realize how bad of a job I did with the context of this. So this dolphin was like horny when she was training it. And so what she would do, like typically what she would do is like, hey, we're going to have you spend a day with the female dolphins and, just, nut and then come back to us and we're going to train some more. She eventually decided to not do that and just jerk off the dolphin herself.
Well,
that's the thing, huh?
So, yeah, dolphins are horny animals. It sounds like that King of the Hill episode, but
that's what I was thinking. Yeah, I was like, I know there was something about this King of the Hill. That's what it was.
Because that's just a friend sent me that, and I thought that was so funny. Like, yeah, so I just started. It was sexual for him, but not for me. And then that dolphin loved that woman. But I don't know why.
I definitely feel like my life is way better from watching that, though, for sure.
It is, yeah, mine is too. Mystery? I don't think so. Coincidence? Maybe.
Yeah.
Hotel? Trivago. That's all I can say.
Full circle. Donald Trump.
Donald Trump. Do you know how he's pretty good? Was it like he didn't sign with NATO or something like that? That was a bad idea. No, it's not NATO. I don't know it. I don't know anything. I shouldn't be talking about politics. I know he says just like dumb shit. I'm like, can you shut the fuck up? Can we hear someone you're like, you're not involved? Say you're listening to some like accounting firm, and then the like CEO of the company just goes up in there and says, Asians have the smallest penis. I, as someone who's not in accounting, knows nothing about accounting, and really couldn't like tell anything to anyone about it, I would say, hey dude, can you shut the fuck up? Anyways, actually, I think we were talking about like conspiracy theories a little bit. I don't believe it. I'm not sure if I'm 100% on board with this, but there is this conspiracy theory that there was the lab in Wuhan created coronavirus to stop the Chinese democracy protests or something like that. Yeah.
Don't even get me started on conspiracy theories. We'll be in an ungodly rabbit hole for like 4 hours.
You ever hear the thing with conspiracy theories to me that really, really affects me? Sometimes you hear one that's so stupid, it starts to make sense.
Flat Earth. Is that what we're talking about?
Flat Earth didn't do it. Have you watched the show Ancient Aliens on History Channel?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, that one.
Aliens guy?
That's the problem because, they make points and it kind of makes sense, but then it's also stupid at the same time.
Yeah, it's tough. I don't give it. I don't give it any. I entertain it for like a second, and then I'll be like, all right, well, even if it is true, like, so what?
Yeah, I'm really bad.
You know what I mean? Like, cool. Like,
I'm good at the not taking it to heart or believing it. My problem is entertaining it because I'll let it go overboard I'll let it just keep going. Like, maybe Stonehenge is kind of like a satellite thing that's trying to get aliens to come to Earth. Oh, maybe the angels in the Bible were actually just aliens, and that's why Sodom and Gomorrah was leading them out of that area.
Yeah, I'm good on it. Colby will talk for the rest of this podcast about.
Yeah, I'm not even going to go into it.
Oh yeah. I could go into it, but I'm not. I don't believe most of it. So that's the problem. So
I do. We'll end up arguing. We're sitting here talking about how people shouldn't like argue over opinions. We'll just end up like pissed off, like yelling at each other.
What's the weirdest conspiracy theory that you would say other people think is weird that you think is true?
I don't know really. I don't know. I don't really settle that far into any of them. But it kind of comes down to that thing where it's like, well, prove it wrong. And then if it's something that can't be proven wrong or right, then I'm just kind of like, okay, you know what I mean? But I don't know. I don't ever get sold 100% on anything. It's kind of the way that I roll with it, especially not flat Earth. But there was like a few hours of my life where I watched some flat Earth videos and I was like, holy shit, the world is flat. It's like where I went with it. You know what I mean? It's like if you only hear the one side for long enough, then you're like, oh shit. But I don't know. I don't sell too far into any of them. Besides, like, I mean, if you get down to like the whole pedophile ring and all that, the like global pedophile ring, I mean, that shit is very real.
Yeah, that sounds real though.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. But then some people are like, oh no, they're not, doing like satanic rituals on children and trafficking children, and like that wouldn't happen. Nobody would do that. Like, people do some crazy shit for money. That's a fact, I mean, that's
I am curious about flat Earth. I obviously don't believe it, but what doesn't make sense is what's the point in lying about that? What's their main idea? 'Cause I haven't researched it that much.
I don't really know. I really don't know. But the thing about it is, like, that's what doesn't make a whole lot of sense to it in the first place. Is like, why wouldn't they just tell us what shape the Earth is?
Yeah.
Unless we, like, I don't know. The only sense I can make out of it is that we would be like enslaved. And then, because if you look at a flat Earth model, it has Antarctica around the outside of it. So it would be like on the other side of Antarctica, there could be anything. Mm-hmm. But we would just be told that we're on a ball. That way we don't go anywhere. Because Antarctica, you can't just go to Antarctica. Civilians aren't allowed to just go across Antarctica. It's like there really is something hidden down there that they don't want people to find.
I didn't know that. That's news to me. I never heard that before in my life.
That makes sense. Yeah, they could be hiding something in Antarctica.
And that's the thing is, if you look at the actual flat Earth map and you look at plane routes, this is where, like, I'm saying, like, if you start watching these flat Earth videos, you'll be like, oh shit. Like, this stuff actually makes sense. Like, all of the planes.
It's that idea of you're saying something so dumb, and this is starting to make sense now.
Yeah, because you look at the plane routes, the routes that planes fly, and you could fly, like, directly east and west, but every plane always goes north and makes an extra stop if you're flying across the ocean. So then if you lay it out on a flat Earth model, they're actually like it wouldn't make sense to fly that way, but then it shortens the path on a flat Earth model rather than it being on a globe, because everything that's north would be in the middle. So you look at the way that it plays out and you're like, holy shit, this is really starting to make a lot of sense. Like, why wouldn't planes fly that just straight across an ocean, but they'll fly like really far north out of their way? And there's just a bunch of little shit like that that the Flat Earth Society or whatever will point out, and you're like, oh my God, like, this motherfucker really is flat. You know, like, I've been lied to my whole life.
Here's the dumbest conspiracy I've ever heard. That Australia doesn't exist.
Yeah, I've never heard that one.
This sounds so dumb. So I don't know the reasoning for it, but the idea is that anyone who's been to Australia or is from Australia is actually living on an island off of Africa,
Madagascar,
or something, somewhere close to that. And it's at the point where it's like, so wait, they're just from an island. Why are we saying Australia? Like, so if it's just another island, like, what's the point of saying that we're lying about South Africa, or start lying about Australia?
Yeah, that doesn't make any sense.
I did not prepare that thought very well. So you guys are into TikToks?
Nice segue.
Oh, I've had better, but anyway, I've had.
I will say I did want to make a comment about your dope ass Airbud movie poster on your wall there.
Yes, I want my studio. I'm trying to figure it out. If it was like a commercial studio, I wanted to call this the Airbud room. But no, Airbud. So this room, I'm trying to do like very nostalgic. These ideas that things are better than they were, because when you think about it, after 9/11, things started to shift so weirdly, and so now movies are just these big action events, and then like smaller movies don't get that big of a deal anymore. And like they would never make a movie like Airbud now.
Right. That's so true.
They need to bring it back.
Really,
great first one in the theater right there.
Great piece of cinema.
It is. It truly is. And I want to get like a golden retriever. I actually want to get like a mini golden retriever. So like they breed it so it's small. so I can overpower it if I need to. Just name it Airbud, and then when that one dies, get like Airbud 2, and then yeah. But anyways, y'all are into TikToks, right?
Colby loves TikToks.
No, I'm not really. It's not my jam.
So I'm somewhat into TikToks. I found some good ones. Your drummer could not be here today, but I wanted to share with him when he watches this episode because he will. I just wanted to give him this happy birthday wish. So if you could, I'm gonna play it now.
It's my birthday! It's my birthday! It's my birthday! And if it's your birthday, happy birthday to you! And what I like to do every year on my birthday is put my face in a cake. It's so much fun to do! Oh, look, a cake! Happy birthday! Woo! It's my birthday!
So yep, I wanted to wish him
Jesus
happy birthday.
Well, you do.
He's really missing out.
You know, people are like, "Oh, you're on TikTok." I'm like, "We're probably not on the same TikTok." I do find a lot of the drug addicts there. But anyways, so you guys had a mention about like TikTok today, right?
Yeah. I don't know. It's just basically just Vine. It's just Vine again. That's all it is.
It's Vine all over again.
It's just a longer Vine, and it's just since the phones have better quality cameras now, they just capitalized on that. Because Vine could only do what was it, like 6-second videos or something like that?
Yeah.
And TikToks can do up to what, like a minute?
Mm-hmm.
So that's all it is. It's basically just like Snapchat meets Vine, and that you can do up for a minute. And I thought Vine was super dope because of the fact that you could only have 6 seconds, and it would make the content creators like that much more like, how can you fit like a good idea in 6 seconds? Like I thought, like Nick Coletti, like was super brilliant. Like all those guys that you ever watch Real Bros of Seam High Valley or whatever it's called.
I've watched a little bit.
Yeah, I thought when they were on Vine, like some of the shit that they were doing, I thought was fucking brilliant. But I guess like a lot of it now is just like trending, stupid little challenges and stuff like that, which is fine. I'm not like against TikTok or anything like that. I just haven't found the motivation to watch it or get into it.
Makes sense for everyone. Well, I don't want to keep you guys too long, so I'll let you guys go. And where can we check you guys out at?
We are on all the social medias. We are on Instagram at Through the Motions, _the_motions, and then Facebook, Spotify, Grindr, just
Pornhub,
YouTube,
everywhere.
Yeah.
YouTube.
Yeah, definitely YouTube, all that good stuff. But thanks for having us, man. That was a lot of fun.
No problem. Thanks for coming on and enjoy your quarantine.
Yeah.
Thanks,
Well,
man.
Adios.
Bye.
Now this is
Casting.